Hi, folks. I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to my political cartoon countdown for August 19th, 2022. Well, making it through August again, folks. Pretty soon will be Labor Day. So, in any event, I want to welcome you back to another one of my political cartoon countdowns. And I just want to, before I get into that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my newest book, my seventh book that I just have available now for purchase on my website, which is richardsbooksofpoliticalcartoons.com. No punctuation and no spaces. And there's a link there. And if you just don't want to, if you decide not to purchase any book or books, you could just go there and browse and look at all the cartoons, and the sample cartoons of this newest book are really great. So you'll have a great time. It's like a political Disney World. And even if you don't have to buy any books or anything like that, you just have a free ticket to political Disney World. And this is the cover of the book here. So what I've done here, again, is I've tried to present a full balanced picture of the political situation of the let's just say the I don't know how to express this, but the points here of the downside to both former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden, and they're well, I don't want to put any moral equality here to anything. I just want you to see that what I've done with this book is try to give you a balanced view in all my cartoons, so that you get a laugh, you get the facts, and then you decide to call the shots how you see it. And that's my aim right along for these last including this seventh book. So here we have former President Trump. The background is the January 6th, 2021 at the Capitol here, the riot at the Capitol. And here you have some of the participants with the Confederate flag. You all recognize this, we've seen this. And this was the image of our pullout from Afghanistan, where they were hanging on to a plane, and they were running and begging to get on the plane here. And then you have, this is President Trump saying, "We prepared for every eventuality, including a swift Taliban takeover of Afghanistan." So he's saying he prepared for this to happen, and it's very, there's a pretty good opinion here, solid opinion that it could have been done better and it could have been planned better, and this could have been avoided to a great extent, this situation here. And the same thing here with former President Trump. He could have stopped this in its tracks by telling the people just to stop it. That's it, go home, boom, before it got to the point where we got to. So here, this is what I've tried to present, a balanced picture of the choices for America in this book, and all my cartoons reflect that. Okay, there's former President Trump, President Joe Biden. Okay, let's start the cartoon countdown. Here is number trace. For the last couple of weeks, this was number 3. Moving up to number 1. Here we have Abbott and Costello, the moving company. Abbott and Costello moving former President Trump's documents to Mar-a-Lago. And here we go. Here goes President Trump. He's saying here, "I see you boys got 10 boxes in the truck. What's going on with this last box?" See, in here it's marked top secret. And then Abbott goes, Mr. President, Costello is worried about this big box marked top secret." See, he's worried about the box marked top secret. And then the president goes, here, Costello, This is Costello here, and that's Abbott. Costello, I'm declassifying that box right now. It's not top secret anymore. Okay? So he's, and there, okay? It's A&C Moving, Abbott and Costello Moving Company. Okay? It's not top secret anymore. And then Costello goes, thank you, Mr. President. It looks smaller now. The box looks smaller now that it's not declassified anymore. Now it is declassified. It looks a whole lot smaller, you know. And former President Trump is using his defense now, saying that as soon as all his documents were taken out of the Oval Office and they went to his private residence, they automatically became declassified. Automatically declassified. So here I'm making that analogy here with him saying it's declassified, and then Costello says, well, it looks a lot smaller to me, you know. Now it's declassified, and he's ready to pick the box up and put it in the truck with the other boxes. Okay, there we go. There's the truck up in Costello. There's the top secret. There's former President Trump talking. He's got 10 boxes are already in there, and this was the last. This was the 11th box. So he said, you already got 10 boxes in. So what's going on with this last box? He says top secret, and then you have the rest of it. Okay, there it is. Okay, and this is the Eisenhower Executive Office Building where the stuff was picked up at. This is the Eisenhower Executive Office Building right here in the background. Got as much of it as I could fit in. Okay, that was numero tres. Numero dos de la semana, number 2 of the week. Okay, here we got a situation where this is with Senator John Kennedy, Republican, Louisiana. Now he's criticizing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, California, House Majority Leader, for not bringing House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy along with her on her trip to Taiwan. Kennedy saying if Pelosi really wanted to demonstrate strength from the United States, she would have brought Kevin McCarthy along. Given McCarthy's drastic reversal on Trump after January 6th Capitol riot, he flew out to Mar-a-Lago and he kissed the ring of President Trump right after he said it was his responsibility, that he didn't stop it, and then he goes ahead and he does a 180 on that. Right after that speech in Congress. How McCarthy might have reacted to China flying its military planes into Taiwan's air defense zone during Pelosi's visit. So McCarthy here imagining fighter jets crossing the median line in the Taiwan Strait, flying soon over their location in Taipei. That's where they were, in Taipei, city of Taipei in Taiwan. So McCarthy hears about that these China fighter jets are flying, very close on the straits. They're in the straits, and he starts imagining that they're coming at him. Kind of like President Trump coming at him. Kind of like that. So he has this imagination, and his imagination running away with him. And here he sees all these planes, all these fighter jets with the Chinese flag being aimed at him. You see? And there's Nancy Pelosi next to him in Taipei, Taiwan. See? And he's getting on his phone here. He's calling Washington. He imagines all coming off the straits, flying right over Taipei. He's imagining President Xi Jinping flying all these things, all these fighter jets at him. You see? This is his imagination. They're coming in, like that. He gets the best of him, and finally he calls the Pentagon, and he goes over here and he says, "Hello, Pentagon. China jet fighters overhead. Get me the effing out of here. Say I forgot my KN95 mask back in the U.S." So I say, tell him I forgot my KN95 mask back in the U.S. That would be sad. He's do anything to say anything to get out of that situation where he perceives himself in that kind of jeopardy. So you can imagine. He flew down to Mar-a-Lago. Now he's flying out of Taipei with the approach of the Chinese jet fighters and leaving. And Pelosi's looking at him like this. She's going like this. Well, what are you going to do? That's the way he is. There she is, that expression on her face. That's Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi there saying, what are you going to do, folks? That's the Republican leadership. And she's thinking to herself. She's not saying that. She's thinking that to herself. And that gesture that I have her making there with her necklace there and her earrings, her wide eyes. There she is, Nancy Pelosi, thinking that. And Kevin McCarthy on the phone to the Pentagon to get him out of there. Okay, and there comes President Xi. He's imagining this off the Straits, flying in these jet fighters. President Xi and all these jet fighters, flying in at him. This is all his imagination, and it's getting the best of him. And there it is. That was number 2. Okay, numero uno de la semana, number 1 of the week. This is very topical now. What's going on here with the nuclear plant in Ukraine? Okay, this is the largest nuclear plant in Europe. You can imagine. Okay, so I did hear I called it a Putin flashback. You see, and given rocket attacks at the Zaporizhia power plant have raised fears of a nuclear catastrophe from the UN nuclear chief, and his warning that Europe's largest nuclear power plant is, quote, is completely out of control. So this is that I did this on August 7th, 2022, a few days ago, a week ago or so, a little over a week. And here is this was the one from June 8th, 2022 that I did when this problem first burst on the scene back in June. And here I got Putin watching Russian missile fly critically low, quote, over a Ukrainian energy company's nuclear power plant. That about 220 miles south of Kiev. Okay, so they were attacking Kiev, and the missiles were flying over the plant that were attacking Kiev. Were going boom over this nuclear power plant, So, and so I had a drawing here. See, and they showed us a picture of that, so I drew it like that. There's the nuclear power plant. There goes the missile flying over the plant. See, dangerously low. And here's Putin there. And he's at his desk, and he's making a telephone call. Okay, we're going to get to that. Okay, and there's the plan. He's watching this on television. Putin is. President Putin, Russian President Putin. Okay, and Putin watching Russian missile fly critically low, and where reportedly the missile was headed on Sunday, June 5th, Kiev. Okay, amid Putin warning the West about deliveries of long-range rocket systems to Ukraine of about 50 miles. So this was during the time when we started beginning to send all these really sophisticated weapons to Ukraine, these long-range missile defense systems and missile attack systems as well, and defense long range that we were sending there. You see, this is just at the get-go of that. Okay, now we're talking about F-15 fighter jets. We've come a long way. It's too bad we weren't there when at the beginning of this. Think of how different it could have been. But anyway, I ain't going to go there. I'm just reflecting. Okay, so here now I have Putin here. Okay, so he's defending President Putin like he defends it, and he blames Ukraine. Now he's putting all this military stuff into this plant. They've got a lot of military stuff in the plant, and he's basically it appears from what they're reporting that he's using this as a launching pad to launch attacks, and the Ukrainians are besides themselves. They can't attack a plant, and they have to put up with this attack. This is the way it appears. I mean, I'm making a statement. It appears to me that way. Okay, so they're between a rock and a hard place. From what I've heard, is that the Russians are putting military stuff into this place here, into this nuclear power plant, storing it, and they know that the Ukrainians are not going to attack it, and it's just it's a powder keg waiting for a terrible thing to happen. okay, and the people saying we should demilitarize that and just get some sort of a UN force in there to control it, and go back to normal control of that nuclear power plant, which is the rational thing to do, just to draw that a circle around that place and put it into the hands of the UN forces or some allied forces, in NATO, some NATO forces or something like that, because an accident is bound to happen there. It's bound to, look at the mathematical probabilities and what they're sitting on there. So I hate to say it's bound to, but it appears that way. Okay, I ain't no nuclear scientist. I was a math teacher, but I'm too far stretched to say I'm a nuclear scientist. Okay, so here we go. Now here we got this. This is Russian. Here is Putin's response to these allegations against him, and here he goes: "Go fly a kite. That rocket over the Nazi nuke plant is FEN, like in outer space, like 62 miles too high. I want Biden to swear on Trump's Bible his missiles for Ukraine won't target Russia." Okay? So it's okay for him to bomb Ukraine, bomb the hell out of them, bomb them back into the Stone Age, but he don't want any stuff coming at him, and he's willing to risk a nuclear explosion to make his point, apparently. So he's saying that this rocket here is way up in the sky. It's 1,000,000 miles away from the plant. What do you want? Go fly a kite. And this is in Russian. Those people who are Russian out there who understand the Russian language, I copied this and it said this means go fly a kite. All right, folks, I want to thank you very much for watching my political cartoon countdown. Again, I invite you to visit my website, Richard's Books of PoliticalCartoons.com, and there you can at least sample my cartoons, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them. They're very topical, because it started from the beginning, and now with the election, a lot of interesting stuff on Ukraine and everything like that in the samples, just in the samples. So you would enjoy that even if you don't choose to buy the book, you'll still have your trip to Political Disney World. And I want to thank you very much. That's Richard's Books at PoliticalCartoons.com. Thank you very much, folks, for watching my video. I'll see you again. Take care, folks. God bless you, and God bless America. See you next time. Bye, folks.